All right, so this is it. This is officially it. It's finally back.
We are back in a much more official way.
Yeah, this looks very official.
I don't know if you even knew we were here before.
Yeah, back from what? Yeah, what are you talking about? Back from, well, we've done this before, but in different versions of it. So this is the latest version of what we call the Spotlight on Good People. Podcast, video cast, whatever you want to call it. There's several versions of it out there. And this is the kickoff to it. For everyone out there, yeah, this is ROP Salons. This is Robert of Philadelphia Salons. I'm Rob DeLella, one of the owners, and this is a recording, videocast, and podcast of many topics, but specifically a spotlight on good people. We've done this before and had conversations about a wide array of things, and some of those things we'll bring back, but mostly we want to touch base with you on what's happening in our world, in the Naples community, and the people in the Naples, Southwest Florida community. And today we're just having a conversation about what's been going on with us. And I am with my daughter, Alexi.
I'm Lexi. Alexi is my real name. This is my father. He's my mentor, best friend, amazing human being, leads our company that we're now in our third generation. My grandfather started it in 1980, and now I'm here. It's my passion, my purpose for life, and I am so grateful for where we're at. And it's awesome because really what makes us a business, what keeps all of our employees here, why we have employees for 35 years is really because of our spotlight on good people, because we acknowledge it all, acknowledge those good people when they need to be acknowledged, and that's what kind of keeps it turning. You know, they take care. You know, that's who we are. That's our.
Yeah, I think it. Well, the business that we're in to start with is it impacts self-esteem. It impacts somebody's self-esteem when people get their hair cut, get their hair blown out, get their hair color. They feel better about themselves. Women I know look forward. This is the Disney World for moms. They look forward to their experience here.
And we're a hair salon too, just in case. I don't know if we said that. If you couldn't tell, just in case.
And this is not about hair. I'm not a stylist. She's not a stylist. We're not having conversations about hair. We're just right now having a conversation about our business and some of the things that we deal with, and that we're working on, going through, and acknowledging in our community. So in regard to spotlight on good people, so one of the things about our business in particular is we get to make people feel good. I mean, that's the gift or the blessing of our business that is so awesome, is that what we do affects people's self-image, self-esteem, has them feel better about themselves. There was a book by Maxwell Maltz that was about the effects of plastic surgery in the 60s, how this plastic surgeon could affect the self-image of somebody who felt really bad about themselves because of the way that their nose was, or they were, or some facial feature or something about them. He saw how significantly it impacted their this psychological thoughts that the person had by changing the way they looked. Psycho-Cybernetics, I think is the name of the book.
I don't know how.
And it's that was the beginning of like this whole thing of our self-image, and not that we're saying that that's the most important thing or the only thing, but when you look better, you feel better, and not that you need to look like a certain model.
When you feel good, you look good. Like that. There's no. As much as we don't want to be all about image or. The heart obviously is what matters, but on top of it, when you look at yourself as your own human, when I feel good, I look good because I feel good. I'm putting in effort, I'm caring enough about myself to feel good, and I think that's what it is for guests or anything regarding self-image is you're doing something for yourself that in today's world, we don't always do stuff for ourselves, especially if you are a good person. It is hard to take time for yourself. And so you're doing something that you deserve for yourself, and it feels good.
How much prep did you put into getting ready for today?
A lot. I haven't had my hair colored since like May or June. And I knew we've been planning this for a couple of weeks, and I was like, I need it in advance so I know I can make sure I look good because we're on film. And some of the older podcasts, I'm like, ugh, ick, what was I thinking? So I made sure yesterday I went and got a blow dry, and I haven't been to our Bonita location in a while, and I just love that group of girls. They're part of my life-changing experience in my life. And I got to go see them. And I was just going to get a blow dry. And then Hannah was like, well, let's do your color. And I was like, okay. And the other Hannah here just fixed me again. And then I got up at probably 5:30 and got myself ready and then continued to get ready a couple times. I just want to make sure.
So you got your hair done yesterday. And then you had it preliminary redone or touched up before this morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then I did a full face. I've been leaning towards more of like, because I feel good. I went through the whole 2016 makeup era where that was like my hobby. Like, we all know that era.
No.
Like 2016 YouTube, like Jeffree Star, like really thick contour with like a winged black eyeliner with overdrawn dark lips.
I remember you talking about that.
It's like a meme.
Is he still around now?
Somehow he's considered like, he's known as like a racist, but he's still making a living. He moved to Wyoming and has
whose channel had our 80s commercial on it?
James Charles.
James Charles. Okay. Is he a makeup person? Or
Yes.
Okay.
He's like 2016 YouTube.
Okay.
He's like, so, but
You have to put that up there.
Yes, we were featured in one of James Charles' videos, by the way. My grandfather, another moment. However, so I have recently, as a millennial, I've always worn all that makeup until the last couple of years. I've been embracing the natural aesthetic that is trending now, and I've always wanted to do that, but I felt like I needed all that makeup. So today I did a little bit more, so not quite 2016. My point is I put on like actual eyeshadow instead of the I've been just wearing mascara.
So who's your influencer? Who do you watch about what makeup to wear?
I feel like there's not as many. There's not as many makeup influencers now. I realized I was so influenced back in 2016. You should see all of my makeup. I still have it, and it's still organized like it's 2016 in the Alex, the IKEA Alex drawers. I still have it all. I'm sure a lot of 2016
that's
makeup
something you
girlies
buy on IKEA. That's her Alex
it's like
Earls.
Alex. That's what they're called. They're white.
But it's by Alex Earl.
No. IKEA. That's just what Alex.
IKEA brand.
They're called Alex drawers or something like that.
Got it. Okay.
Drawers.
To hold makeup.
Yes, and that was a very 2016 year. I still have it all, but I spent so much money on all of that makeup. And first of all, it goes bad. Second of all, I kept thinking I'm going to finally, this person told me to buy this. I'm going to buy it and it's going to fix every problem. I realized after spending a lot of money, no, it's all kind of the same, no matter what the price is. I mean, not the same. So I feel like makeup influencing isn't as relevant as it is. It's more of like what is influencing now is the aesthetic. That's what sells. So you're not just selling the makeup, you're selling the whole look.
So as a culture, as a company, as a family, we had a retreat recently, we took a day to have a digital detox, and we called it Elevate 2025 ROP Summit. So it was our summit. It was our opportunity to get together as a group. I think most importantly, it was for us to be together all 3 locations together
We have
and
3
have people
locations.
have all our 55 people in one room where we weren't where the focus was on each individual. It wasn't about us being trained and developed on customer service or trained and developed on a new color line or trained and developed on customer service or any specific area of the business. It was mostly for everyone to take time to reflect and look at what the good, look at our lives in a way that what's working, what's not working, what we want to work more on, and how we want to create 2025 to be the very best year of our life.
And we came into it with like no expectations, which I think when you think of going to like, oh gosh, I have a whole work meeting all day or so, you immediately in my head, I'm like, I don't want to sit there all day. But it was the way we structured, the way I felt about it. I was excited because there was no like forefront of, okay, we're going to sit and learn about the chemistry of products all day. There was no expectations, and we have not had. So a long time ago, we used to do these huge, extravagant Christmas parties. The last couple of years, we have not. And so
Extravagant? You think they were extravagant?
I wasn't alive.
Oh, okay.
So from pictures
From pictures, it looked extravagant. Yeah, maybe they were.
with Poppy when he was
Oh yeah,
alive. I don't know. Didn't he always go? I don't know. That's just the way people
No,
make
I mean
it sound.
maybe they were. Maybe they were. You know, I don't know.
Everybody got dressed up and
Yeah.
like.
I didn't always love them because there was alcohol, and people and alcohol sometimes you get a whole different person with some of the people we had. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't always love the experience of
and
those.
I
in that day.
understand that actually. I do get that because people all of a sudden, especially that you're at a work party and you have your employee and then their spouse too. So the person goes home and probably vents or whatever, and then they start drinking. And I'm sure, you get more. Everybody gets a little bit more confident to maybe say the thing that they never got to say. So it's funny. Probably I don't know. That's just, but that's what he says. I can imagine that probably that would happen. So we haven't had one of those in a while, and
We had some people that probably shouldn't be drinking at all, and then you'd give them the opportunity to drink at an event like that, and this other side of them would come out when you put 50 to 70, 100 people in a room that some of them aren't meant to.
Well, and
drinkers.
Back in that point, I
You
feel,
weren't there, so you didn't get to experience any
I
of the
feel
fun
like
stuff.
probably. I'm glad I didn't. I got to experience a lot of other fun stuff. I feel like and it kind of exactly coincides with what we're talking about, is that we were not mentally fit as a company, like healthy. Health and wellness was not promoted as a mental wellness. It probably was a little toxic. I think back to when I worked here in high school, and it was a little toxic.
No, and that was part of what the retreat. I mean, toxic. Part of one of the things that was kind of the key elements of us having this retreat and us looking at our lives, because I've been looking at my own life and saying, well, it's important for me to surround myself with people who make my life better. Who, when I leave being around them, I feel like a better human. And, that requires something, because sometimes there are people in your life that, don't always do that. And you think we have to have them in our life. We think, oh, well, I need that person to be around, even though every time I leave hanging out with them, I don't feel good. I feel drained. It's always, there's always fill in the blank about that person that drains my soul. So one of the things, actually, I read it over the course of that day. This is from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life. He said, surround yourself with people who want the best for you. Make friends with people who want the best for you. We become the average of the people we spend the most time with. In the wrong company, we can end up in crime. So why do we hang around people who drag us down? Question. Befriend people who want the best for you. We are all being, just some of us are better beings. Learn to tell the difference. Some people are beyond help. Stick with the winners. If people are determined to screw up, let them.
I want to say something kind of that I'm learning throughout. I'm going through, like, I'm a mother of 2 children, and I'm 32 years old, so I'm really growing to like adulthood, I guess, womanhood, whatever it's called. I don't know. But I'm learning so much being a part of a salon, like Nepo. I told Robert we're Nepo babies the other day. He didn't like that.
What's that?
Where you're born into something.
Nepo?
Yeah, like nepotism.
Oh, nepotism. I didn't know what Nepo was short for. Okay.
That's a thing. Everybody Nepo, but I'm very grateful that I'm a Nepo. He was like, "Don't call me that." I'm like, "We are, and it's nepotism technically." However, I'm great. I'm so grateful for my family, and that's why I have so much pride for my grandfather and who he is, and then I have his genes in me. Like, that's fucking cool.
I want to see nepotism. Because I know that's illegal at companies.
What? Well, that's it's very like the people don't like that, and then you realize people start to realize a lot of like actresses and singers, they're all Nepo babies, so it kind of takes away from. Actually, you have to. There's this really funny take.
Nepotism is the practice of giving unfair advantages of relatives or close friends in a field or occupation. This can include giving someone a job, increasing their pay or benefits, or providing them more opportunities. Nepotism can occur in many fields, such as business, politics, entertainment, and academia. So I don't agree with that because, number one, you or him do not get any special benefits from
now
being
that
here.
you read it like that, though, I actually no.
Or opportunities, because if pay needs to get cut, yours is the first to get cut. If there's a payroll we can't meet because we're over budget, you're not getting a paycheck.
I know,
and I expect way more out of you and him than I do anybody else. So you aren't getting a shortcut to the top. In fact, earn it.
Every little thing I have, and when I do have something, like I got my new phone, I felt like I constantly have this like drive to work harder and like, no, you need to be doing more. No, I don't know if we deserve this phone quite yet. Like, do we deserve, like, this isn't too nice or something, So now that you read it like that, it is, that is.
Yeah. So it's not that.
And maybe that's exactly what I grew up in this industry, being, Rob's daughter, Robert's granddaughter, Marlene's granddaughter, Tracy's niece, Audrey's niece, and so I would put immense pressure on myself ever since I was a young child, that I had to be this certain way. And I've gone through many struggles throughout my life. I decided, I was like, oh yeah, I did this. I subconsciously did this as a young child to myself, and then I created all these turmoil, and I was super rebellious because I watched that movie 13, and I was gonna live out 13 like the movie, and I made sure I did. And I lived in Utah, and I went to Cross Creek Academy, where the whole Paris Hilton movement. If you don't know what
you didn't live there by choice.
No,
you didn't
I got
move there
dropped
because
out.
you wanted to.
Yeah, no. I was
or maybe you did by choice. Maybe
subconsciously.
Maybe there was a choice there.
Subconsciously. So my dad dropped me off in Utah, in the middle of nowhere, and I guess I was screaming for like help. So he was like, "Here's some help," and I learned many therapeutic processes, but I learned all these processes, but there was very strict lockdown school that you have to like graduate to go home. So, and a lot of girls would end up being there for like 3 years. And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to be here for 3 years. I'm going to do whatever I need to do.
But you had to earn your way by certain behaviors to get to certain behaviors and certain accomplishments.
So I made
to
sure
get to graduate or complete the program.
I look at it now, and it's so fascinating the way I thought as a younger routine that I realized that because I followed every rule, like I was not going to break a rule because I was scared, and I thrive in structure, and I did very well there. And I noticed I was so scared because I would always see these girls who would look like they're doing so well, and then all of a sudden they would go, it's called staff buddy, where you like drop levels and have to stay here longer. So I made sure, I was like, oh gosh, I haven't been on staff buddy. They're not gonna, I can't fit. I have to go on staff buddy. I have to get in trouble. Everybody gets in trouble. I can't be the exception. So I purposely made myself, I wrote a come clean saying I lied about stuff. I didn't, but I mean, I don't think I did. I think I wanted to do something wrong, just to feel like I did something wrong. But I still made sure I timed it at the perfect timing so that I could make it to the next 2-month seminar thing. So I could make sure I still went home in 14 months. Cause some girls were there for like 36 months. And I know who you are, cause I still see you on Facebook, and shout out to you. They were there for a long time. I was not. I made sure of that. But so constantly in my life, I have created situations like that where there's just I went through all that therapy and still didn't know who I was as a person or know what self-love was. You would think like you spent all that time with a therapist. How did you not figure that out? I'm not saying I figured it out now, but I have 2 children. And I'm, learning in life every freaking day, we're all trying to figure it out, right? But I am feeling the most in tune I've ever felt in my whole life with who I am, my goals, my direction, and being sure of who I am as a person. Because I think I was thinking about it today. Whenever if I notice his behavior is like different towards me, or like, oh, he's not texting me a lot, or what did I do? This is in my head. I think I'm doing something wrong. And I do that to myself. Like I create issues, I guess. And I realized today, I'm like, I don't do that anymore, because I know I'm not. Like, I know there's nothing, I'm proud of who I am, and I don't have to base my success off of your mood or how I feel about myself, or not just you specifically, but so it's interesting. And a lot of the people in our company would not have made me who I am today without them. And that's the beautiful thing about good people.
So you could recognize your own unhealthiness, or that is an unhealthy. Well, I have the same thing, and in a relationship, I'm married to the most incredible woman on the face of the earth. I mean, she's just changed my life in so many ways.
She works
and
at
she
Arthrex.
accepted me
She's a
for who
doctor.
I am as a person, so I didn't have to always second guess. Well, why didn't she text me back? What did she say? Because she lets me know how she feels, and she's straight with me in that she doesn't make me guess what emotion she's feeling or what she needs from me. She communicates with me, and it's okay.
That is the biggest thing.
And it's very healthy. It's very, very healthy. And I don't have to.
Life changing. And ever since he met her, his life changed and it made my life change. So shout out to Michelle, because because he's now healthy, and I realized how much I am influenced from his behavior. And that's exactly what you were saying.
Well, I'm not healthy. I'm doing my best at being the healthiest I can be. I got always working
reading
on
a self-help book. Always. That's why I was thinking about whatever you're reading. That's what I'm working on in my life too, because that's what he talks to me about. So I hear it, and that's what helps me in my life too. So it's exactly what you're saying from Jordan Peterson. Who you are around, that's who you're going to be.
Well, what feed my mind with. And by the way, the whole story about this and her upbringing and her going to Colorado is in
Utah.
Utah. Where'd I get Colorado from? Utah, because I went flew into Vegas,
polygamous.
and then went up to the other
yeah.
side. Yeah, Utah. It is in this other podcast, which Zach will put up on there for people to go to, because we did that whole story on that. So if you want to learn more about that, that's
gives
on an
me
old one. But
I forgot about
the history
that.
of the whole thing is on there. And now we're working on this elevate 2025. So where we are now, and from wherever we are now, and we keep working on ourselves to grow and get better and have more. Well, we spent this day on working on each of us as an individual. So I know that if the people here are in a good place in our ROP family, which there's 55 of us, and if we're in a great place and our lives are good, that when they come here to do what they do and share the love and, create beautiful hair inside and out, that they'll be in a great place for that, because they're going to love being here if their lives are going great. So we spent this day working on ourselves. So selfishly, that was kind of part of it. But in a way, it was for all of us to get related with each other, to detox digitally from our phones, from the outside world, and to just be for a day and actually work on what we wanted to work on to have 2025 be the best year ever. So if you're watching this now and you come in on your next visit to the salon, if you're somebody who comes to the salon, ask your stylist or the associate that works with you or the person at the front desk what they're working on for 2025, because we're keeping this in existence for us. We've all made promises and commitments to work on these specific areas, whether it's our health and well-being, whether it's our finances, whether it's our relationships, whatever it is. We've all picked areas of life that we want to have improvements on. And so there's this pathway that we're working on each week, and we've set up promises and commitments each week.
Specific
holding each other
goals to
accountable,
create them.
and you holding us accountable for what it is we're saying. I want to lose 4% body fat. So what actions am I taking? I want to have the greatest relationship. I want to have this relationship grow in ways that I didn't know it could with my wife. And so what steps am I taking with that? Well, we went away this weekend, and we spent time together where it was just us, and we didn't, have our phones attached to us at all times. And we're going to have date night again, which is new and different. So we have date night, where, you don't make time for, because it's always like something is always in the way, whether it's, something always finds a way to take up that time. So that's what we're working on.
What's happening in life? Life goes by as I sound like I'm old, but as I get older, I realize life just keeps going. And I'm seeing that, I used to always think, I have so much time. No, it just keeps going by now. So you can sit there and be so focused on whatever it is that you're focused on that you're not having date night, then you're missing the weeks. All of a sudden it's August.
Well, and I could talk about having a date night, but until I actually, and it sounds, like if you put it in a calendar, it's like, oh, you're putting a relationship in a calendar. But if I'm actually marking out time, like, listen, nothing is going to get in the way of this. This is how my life is going to be. This is my time for her. And not only is it my time for her, it's my time for her, without the digital interruptions of life. And that takes something, because it's real easy to, say, yeah, we're having a date night, we're out to dinner together, and we both have our phones on the table, and we're glancing at the phones and responding and checking what things
exactly
are.
It
keeps us from being present. So we had this great weekend together, which was digitally, for the most part, without it. We didn't do the Simon Sinek way, which he recommends, where you exchange phones. Like, she holds my phone, I hold her phone, so we, when we're in the bathroom, we're not sneaking off in the bathroom and, reading news, what happened? What did I miss?
How much time, how much longer how much shorter would the bathroom trips be if you didn't have a phone,
Yeah, there's always, the thing goes everywhere with you. So that detoxing and one of my goals or one of my commitments this year is being more present. So being more present requires that, I put my phone on that kind of do not disturb mode during the day, because nothing is a big enough emergency. And if it is, I've set the settings up so that Michelle can get through to me, or whoever needs me can get through to me, but that every little 285 of those notifications that I get every day, of those, very few of them are life-threatening. No, most of them are not. None of them are life-threatening.
Actually,
all of them are not life-threatening.
Burning? Is an ambulance there? Did we get robbed?
Right. So that I can be fully present and in the moment of where I am and handle what I'm dealing with now.
I texted him. I felt so bad. I didn't know.
But that was a learning thing. That was great. I mean, even for you, okay, if you were thinking So you were caught in this middle ground of these two, your aunt and a senior leader, and you're thinking, I got to handle this now. I got to take care of this now. When in reality, if you were Marina or anybody else working in work mode,
I would have waited,
texted, and said, "Hey, what do we do in this situation?" You would have waited.
And Aunt Audrey, I love you. You're probably the only person that I wouldn't do that for, because it is my in-law. However, you are 100%. That was just made me realize that myself, that it was a Sunday or Monday. It was the weekend, and I was like, I gotta fix this. I gotta handle this. And that
where anybody else, you'd say, I don't have an answer for you. I'll have to get back to you on Tuesday because I don't know. I don't know. And yeah.
And the rest of the world was shut down. It's not like appointments were being made and her book was going to get booked. Christy's book was going to get booked or something. Like I could have done that. And that's what you're saying, is that a lot of these things don't need to be immediately. It's not urgent that it needs to happen now. And there are certain, like you said, certain situations, but allowing yourself to have those boundaries. And I just have to flex on my dad real quick. He is, I feel like he's like everybody's, with a lot of my friends within the company, you're like their father figure. You just are so wonderful he's so talented and gifted. His talent is loving people, showing genuine love to human beings. And first of all, he thrived the other day at the thing, because he's a phenomenal public speaker. If you need a public speaker you want emotion elicited, he's good at that. And he was just, so to watch him thrive in that atmosphere, and then see how it also affected your life, because when you're in a good place, you like exactly the same thing. We're going back to what Jordan Peterson said, who you're around, that's what creates you're the leader of the company.
Well, and that's really all that day was, because literally when I'm surrounded by, and which I certainly was, when I'm surrounded by the 55 people in this organization, we ended up with, I think, 47 there total, somewhere out of town. In that space, when people are present and I'm fully, I was fully present to what was in that room, which was an extraordinary amount of power, like extraordinary people, so much love, so much intentionality, so much greatness, that I don't even know, so it's not even about speaking for me. It was just about like putting this great, great team together and having this gathering with this incredible group of people who empower me and empower each other and make each other better humans. So that was what inspires me to, I got to follow through on my word that this is going to be the best year of our lives collectively. And that's not just out of one day, like, oh, let's make a resolution and hope that the year turns out great. No, it's the accountability now of, listen, I've got to be a better me, and I've got to make sure that all the things I've committed to and promised, that I do the work on those, and that I hold you to account for what it is that you said you were going to do, and that, as uncomfortable as it might be, make sure that you're following through on your commitments and your promises also, so that it's not just a great idea. Like for some people, that means even raising the bar a little higher, because I think some people played it really safe, like, oh, I want to learn another language. That's great, and I think that's awesome. I think maybe that's something you always wanted to do, but that might not alter your life for the rest of your life. That may not have you have the greatest year ever.
A little bit deeper.
And I didn't think of this that day. I didn't think of this, but as I've talked to people after, like, okay, so maybe you want to set the bar a little bit higher so that you're actually doing a little bit more than only that one thing. And maybe these people have other things too.
Maybe they're not, like I was thinking about, because I know some people that maybe they're just not there in life yet. Like I was thinking to be able, so that at least creating that conversation, they're like hearing this and they haven't heard about these things.
And that would be my coaching or feedback there. Okay, that's great. Maybe you aren't, but now, like, what would alter your life to the next level?
That.
Of course, I didn't either that day. There were things I didn't see that day. Like, wow, I have a lot more. It kept growing since that day of other things and other areas that I'm going to work on that I know will alter my life and make me have the best year ever. Around health and well-being and around finance and around being debt-free. And, there's just a lot of things that opened up since that day. So this segment, I want to make sure that everybody sees in our family, in our culture, in our company, and anybody else out there who's who does happen to watch this, who's ends up coming into the salons. Make sure you ask us, hey, what are you doing, and what did you do today, and what is your goal for the year? Like, what are you up to? I want to lose 4% body fat. How's that going? Did you do the meal prep? Did you keep your word this week? Did you talk to your accountability partner? So those are things that I want to keep alive and make sure that our people are doing that. So if they're going to be commenting and talking about what is happening in your life. For you washed your car, I think. Yes?
That was not. I mean,
That
that
wasn't
was
one of your ones.
that was a broader result of it.
Okay.
Is that because when you make a lot of times I'll make goals, or we all, like you're saying, we all have so much stuff that needs to get done all the time. Doesn't matter what it is. There's always something. That's life. But sometimes then I'll get home. I'm work, gym, kids, sports, whatever, and then you look around and there's still so much stuff to be done, and it is sometimes overwhelming. Then you're like, I don't even know what to do. I don't want to do this right now. I don't even know where to start. So my goal for myself was for myself and my children, creating goals that are attainable so that I can then build up from there. So I'm not setting myself up for immediate failure by saying, okay, I'm going to do this 5 days a week.
So I think the breakdown of that is like the goal, by what you told me, the bigger goal is to be present, or to not be present. I think
that was part of it too.
But you're doing it in baby steps. So
Yes.
week 1, you're doing it 2 days a week.
What I'm doing is I created like an actual schedule for myself, like a written down schedule, so that I can have something to hold myself accountable to. So I know what I need. So my mind can't go. And then no matter what I get done within that time is what I get done within that time. There's no oh, you didn't do enough. That's the time I had allotted for that, or this is the time the kids do this. So then our whole lives are, and eventually I'd like to get there broader, but it just makes it manageable.
So having a schedule, what does that mean?
Well, I get up at this time, from this time to this time, we do this. From this time to this time, I'm gonna, because I have so many projects at home, projects, and I have my little stuff I do on the side. I have so much stuff. It's life, like everybody does. So,
but what is yours? What is it? What is an example of a day? What is an example of a schedule?
I've been just cleaning Wednesday. I'm cleaning the car from this time to this time. I'm picking up the kids from this time to this time. I'm doing their homework from this time to this time.
So that's something that you've created and communicated to them that this is how our day's going to look.
We made it together. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then they're going to bed at this, just for consistency, and it helps my brain. And then I know, okay, then from this time to this time, I'm going to work on my closet from this time. And so then no matter what I get done in that time, that's what I get done. And,
okay, good.
Expanding it.
And what this week is to how many days for
3.
that set schedule?
I'm doing 3 days. I'm doing 1 day on the weekend, because the weekends are hard, because we all want to have fun on the weekends, but this not fun, or I just want to do nothing and rot in my bed all day. That's my favorite. So now I can.
So that could be a self-care day. That's
and that's okay, and that's my point, is allowing myself to have that. But then I don't want to do that the whole time. I have to make use of my time that I have efficiently. Mm-hmm. So then I'm not up at 3 a.m. the night before finishing something. I can have it. I can be proactive. I'm trying to create less chaos. I've self-induced chaos in my life, because I think subconsciously I felt like I deserve to always have a problem, and if I fix the problem before it's a problem, then I don't have a problem.
How many minutes have we been going?
I know. I was thinking we can talk a lot.
40? Okay.
That's okay.
Right.
We're good. That was good. We're good. That was good, guys.
That's it for this segment of Elevate 2025.
Woo!
And now
we'll be right back.
Move on to something new.
Hello. So we have Hannah Escalante.
Yes.
I always remember her name from in the computer, Escalante. And Hannah worked with us. When did you first start here?
I started, I believe, in 2010.
2010. Really?
No, 2000. Sorry,
I was like, wait.
in 20. Was it
It all comes
2019? I believe.
Okay, right before
Yes.
COVID.
Yes.
So she started our associate program, and she worked with Rosa. Shout out to Rosa. And Rosa was an awesome stylist that now lives in Miami, and it's glitz and glammy,
Yeah.
beautiful. And she learned so much from her, even the way you were
Everything, a lot of things.
blow drying. She blew dry my hair today, and it still reminded me of Rosa. It's amazing all
Rose.
the little things that remind you.
Yes.
So she learned a lot from Rosa, and then she took a brief break and went to.
Tennessee for 2.5 years almost.
She has her hubby and her little girl.
Yes.
How old's your daughter now?
She's 12.
12. Oh my
12 going
gosh!
on
Wow.
17. Yes.
I feel like that's all little girl. It's amazing. I was with Mila in the mall, and I thought my daughter was like Miss Thang. Those little girls they all have Lululemon. I'm like,
I know.
everybody.
Yes.
I just can't believe.
And they know about it too.
Oh
They're
my
like,
gosh! I
It's
thought,
unbelievable.
wow, it's definitely it's here. It's happening. No. 12 scares me. What's it like 12 year? What's she like at 12? What's that?
Oh my God.
I
Nothing.
mean, we're at 10, and my daughter's 10, and I am nervous for.
Yeah, no, 12, she's kind of like, I don't like to, she likes sports, so she started playing
Oh,
volleyball.
that's good.
But like playing Barbies and all that, it's gone.
There's no more.
Cry, no more Barbies.
We're getting older
No more
now,
Disney.
and they're
Yes.
growing up. It's so interesting seeing like
Bittersweet.
us as mothers, us watching us grow up and our children grow up at the same time. It's just so interesting
Yeah.
to see how here we are.
Everything's changed.
And it's weird because I feel like a lot of women nowadays, like they are able to look younger longer. So, they'll be like 40-year-olds with 18-year-olds, but the 40-year-olds look like.
That's her sister.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so crazy. Because you look young too. I'm like,
Thank you.
oh, this is so. When did you came back? So Hannah left. She moved to Tennessee, and you were a stylist there as well.
I was, yes.
And you worked at another salon. What was that like?
It was amazing.
Like a good
I have to say,
experience?
experience-wise, I grew so
What
much.
town were you in?
In Hickson, Tennessee, in Chattanooga.
Let's see. I know Chattanooga. Yeah. Interesting. Is that? I feel like
a very
Tennessee's like
small-
booming,
It is, but it has like its little towns.
little
Yeah.
suburb type thing.
Yes.
Oh,
But-
what was it like? Moving from Naples to Tennessee. What was that like?
It was different.
When for your daughter, like going to a new school and
I
stuff?
think she adapted very well.
Oh, that's good.
Just because you get all the seasons, and
Oh, so
Yeah.
so it was a good experience for your
Yes.
family.
it was really good experience. But we're glad to be back with
And
family.
I feel like you learned a lot, like, because when she was here, she was in the associate program. We were trying to kick her out of the nest.
yes.
We were like, you got it, you can do it, you can
Yes.
go fly, and because I could
Yeah, like
see,
self-confidence
I could
for
see your
sure.
talent, but I could also see her doubt herself. So she moved and then came back, and I noticed it immediately. You're just like, it was amazing. I have to I've been telling everybody
you.
this actually. I give you props too. When we did the Princess Moms, she when we did 1,100 princesses company wide, and we offered all the mothers who came in 50% off if they wanted to also come in for an appointment for them. And Hannah was out there excited to talk about hair with
Yes.
them, and that's the self-confidence part that I think for some of the stylists that are still growing, that's what they struggle with. So, but to see you, I was like, you should see Hannah. Hannah's talking about it. She's telling, you're excited about hair, and telling that this would be cool. We could do
yes.
this. And that's what people think it's like you're your stylists get nervous because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to sell somebody something. But
Yeah. And that was my biggest problem.
you're
Not having confidence.
You were excited about it.
Yes.
Because you know what you're talking about, and you're sharing it.
Yes.
So it's cool to see you grow. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And she does. She come back and she does extension. You did extensions before.
I
Just
did tape-ins.
Tape-ins.
Yeah, no, now I do a little more of wefts, K-tips, I-tips.
When did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She's like all grown up now. So that is awesome though, that you went and were able to sometimes that's what you have to do is like get out of the comfort zone to grow.
To grow, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it. And
I
I'm
see it. It's
yes.
visibly. It's visible. I'm sure I couldn't imagine just like picking up and going to a different state, starting over career-wise,
Yes. I mean, it was nerve-wracking going from one place, like building my book here and then going there and like starting all over.
Is it like when you're going into a salon, and that's where it's so crucial about who your salon family is, because I always get like, I would be so scared of like other girl, like judgment or competitiveness.
Yes. I mean, thankfully, where I went, it was amazing. Like it was. I went in, I felt it. When you feel it, and you're like, yeah.
That's good
yeah,
too.
it helped me grow, and now I am so excited to stay here and grow here.
What's their salon name?
Salon La Bella.
Salon La Bella. Well, it's so refreshing to hear that, because I feel like online you're always just seeing how that's why I was like, that makes me scared for thinking about. I always hear about competitiveness and that whole typical salon vibe, like competition and stuff. So shout out to Salon La Bella for empowering people. Yes, great. That's awesome. So today we just came out with this whole new system line of products. We're still testing more, so there will be more to come. Hannah's going to talk to you a little bit about some of our new products. As everybody knows, we have our own product line, and we're constantly trying to learn more and develop new fun things.
And they're all sulfate free, so they're really good for your hair.
Which one's your favorite so far?
My favorite so far is this shampoo, conditioner, and the repair.
And that's and this is because I'm still learning about it as well. Like learning about it's amazing chemistry wise, how much you don't realize goes into a freaking shampoo.
Yes.
But so that is the keratin therapy shampoo, keratin therapy conditioner, and keratin therapy. What's it called? I can't see. Nourisher?
The replenisher.
Replenisher.
Yes. So this will help repair your hair.
And so from what I understand, it's supposed to be, it's helpful to use it as a system.
Yes. It'll leave your hair feeling good, and it's also good for color. It helps kind of keep the color in. If you use a good product, it's going to help in the long run. And
so what's been like, so what I was learning, and you can tell me your experience is, so it's like I guess like a canvas. If you have a canvas and you're prepping your canvas to get run over, but you're making it really strong so that it doesn't break when it gets run over, because that's supposed to help kind of.
So this is like your shield.
You're keeping it strong before it gets run over. What we were learning in the class is that it is. I'm trying to think. You said like a shield. What's the word? Like, what's that one product? There's that one popular thing that has all the steps to it. Step 1, step 2.
The K18?
It's like K8. K18 is comparable to that, right?
Yes, that's what the chemist said.
And what, that one that starts with an O?
Olaplex.
I had to do the weird O to get it. So that Well, and the only thing
Yes.
I'm not comparing it to Olaplex, but you know how they literally have 1, 2,
The
3.
system.
Yes,
The whole
yes.
system for it,
So
yes.
that is similar in that it's like a system.
Yes, and I mean like it's just came out, but the clients that I've used it on, they come back and they're like, "Oh my god, like what did you do to my hair last time?"
Oh, really? So you feel the
yes,
difference,
and they feel it, the difference.
and then so you use it's sulfate free. You use the shampoo or conditioner. So this is something you use every day.
I mean, when you wash your hair, I would say
Or
if
when
you
wash
wash
your
it,
hair.
yes,
Like it's a shampoo you would use.
yes,
frequent.
and this one, all you need to do is like if you have thick hair like yours, just like 2 pumps, it'll go a long way. It'll last you forever.
And okay, so wait, I want to. So shampoo, how much shampoo do you just like it's concentrated?
Yes, it's
Is-
like this
Just
one
depends on
compared
the
to like
hair.
other ones. This one doesn't have as much water. It's not so diluted, so it's a little bit thicker
I
consistency.
remember she said what that.
So I would just be like, okay, the first 2 pumps and like really lather it, and then
And
wash
do
your
you
hair.
get a real good lather
yes,
when you use it?
yes, you do.
Because that's interesting. I have not used it quite yet on myself to feel it. Like I've touched it, but to feel it in my own hair. And I think they used it on me yesterday, but I didn't rub my hands to feel the suds.
To feel it,
Like,
yes.
you know,
it suds really, really
Oh,
well.
that's good too. Because a lot of sulfate frees, it's just
Yeah,
like
they're very
you got to
But
really.
I always
add-
say, whenever I tell my clients, I would say go in and rinse your hair really well, and then use it. Because if you go with a shampoo on top of your dirty hair, it's not gonna lather that well. And you're just using shampoo for no reason.
So true, so true. Because I was literally talking about that yesterday because I was talking about how when I'm at home, I literally like try to do everything you guys do, like to a T, and I'm like, I section correctly, I use the brush right, and I don't ever. It doesn't look the same. And I was realizing, I think a lot of it is from when I do my own shampoo. Like my hair is not as clean as you get it.
Yes.
And that's where it's so important to do like multiple shampoos if you have to get it really clean.
Yeah.
So you're creating that surface
Yes.
to take the product for your hair to take for the.
Yeah, and the conditioner too, it plays a big part of it. If you put too much on it, it's gonna weigh it down. And then you're gonna feel like you get greasier faster because you're like putting conditioner like, everywhere.
It's like icky. Don't you know that
yes.
feeling when you have like the glop? You're like,
Yes.
I just washed my hair.
Yes.
And you have the big old like greasy. I've been there. That was a couple days ago. Guilty. So and you, it's like a thick. What's your
Yeah, it
feeling on
is.
it? Like consistency wise.
It is. They're pretty thick. So that's why I'm like, just use the minimal. And as you use it, you'll kind of get to know your hair. Start with just a little bit and then be like, oh, okay, well, next time I needed more or I needed less. Kind of depends on the hair type.
Varies. I know I'm talking like so broadly when it's really depends on the person. But my point is that they're very concentrated from what everybody
Yes.
was saying. And what's so interesting is like, okay, so we've had our own products for years and years and years, and I have not heard. I try to make sure we're telling the guests what we're using, just so they know. Like, because I always try to tell stylists to teach them, just so that they know what we're using. Because sometimes people don't even realize we have our own brand.
Yeah.
And yesterday at the promenade, they were so excited to talk about it. They were like, this is what I'm using on you today. Just to tell people what. It is something exciting. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. And they were excited about it. So it was
That way they
cute
know
to
too
see.
what they're
Yes.
using. They're
Exactly.
get familiar with the product.
Exactly. And then also I always say, but so then like I always try to teach the guests the desk to write what you used on them, because a lot of times they'll call and be like, what did they use on me? And then we have to make 5 more phone calls, and then they ask
Yeah.
you and they're like, what did you use? And you're like, I've done 25 shampoos since then. I have no idea what I use.
Yes.
So it's such a click of a button, and then we have that under that person's name. So, and it's then they can come in and be like, I hated that. Whatever
Don't
it was,
ever
don't use
on
it again.
Yes.
And then at least we will know. So it's nice to see it's people are. I'm excited. It makes me excited. And then so those 3 products are supposed to be. I mean, they don't have to be, but it's helpful to. They all work off of each other to be used in a system, correct?
Yes. And I also like it too. I mean, this is good for repair. And I also like these because they're sulfate free. So you can use it with, if you get a keratin or Brazilian blowouts, you can use those too. And it's amazing. It'll keep the frizz, from your hair frizzing. It's so hot here. So,
Oh my gosh. It's
this morning, like you're like, whoosh.
well, and I have Brazilian in my hair, but that's how you know it's time for another Brazilian, because normally my hair blow dries very well, and I hadn't had my hair done in a minute. I was so excited I got it done yesterday, and then I worked out. Normally my hair will stay in the gym, and I can sweat through it and still have good hair.
Yes.
And then I walked in this morning, and I was like, all camera ready except for my frizzy hair. But that's when it's time for Brazilian.
Yes.
But so then I could, technically for somebody like me, I could use that
Yes.
at home. And do you feel like it's good for all hair types, or what's?
I mean, I would say maybe somebody that has very fine, thin hair. It's a little bit
too
heavier. Yeah. You could still use it, just, even if it's fine, sometimes you do get that frizz.
Right.
Use the slightest bit and maybe combine it with something else that's not so thick.
Right.
And that way it
interesting.
kind of gets the frizz out, but it doesn't weigh it down.
Interesting. That's a good, actually. So cocktailing.
Yes.
And then you could find different things. That's gets all exciting. That's if people do that with foundation and stuff.
Yes. And you're like, oh, that's what it does. Yes.
There's the difference. I see it now. And then so the keratin therapy. How would you recommend? When do you put that in your hair? How much? How do you put that? Where does it go? Roots to ends? How do you?
I mean, usually it'll be mids to ends.
Mids to ends.
Yes. Try to avoid it.
Avoid root, obviously, or else you're gonna get that. I forgot to wash my conditioner out.
That flathead.
That greasy.
Yes.
Need some dry shampoo already. And so, do you want your hair to be slightly towel dried, or does it matter when?
I mean,
what
I would
you
say
recommend?
towel dry and just kind of put it to that the end.
Brush it through.
And then when you're blow drying it, blow dry it in.
Does it need to be blow dried in?
It doesn't need to be, but
It's helpful.
it also helps. Yeah, like anything, kind of
Activates
push it
a
in,
little
yes.
bit more. Well, because if you think about it, when you're using the blow dry, it's super hot. You're opening the cuticle. It's like when you're in the shower with shampoo. You're opening the cuticle, driving the product into the cuticle, and so it's able to actually do its job. And you're probably I just learned in Brazilian blowout, the heat is what activates a lot of the chemicals.
Yeah, it seals it
I know
in.
chemicals, but but that's what gets it into that's what helps activate some of the things that make it it turns it into a different property.
Yes.
I learned. I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know that. And so I was going to ask, okay, shampoo. My question. So for somebody like me who has a difficult time getting that really clean, squeaky clean hair at home that you guys do here. I can't take Maria home with me.
Yes.
I wish. Can't. What would you recommend for somebody? How could I get super, super clean?
I would say, we don't have it up here, but we have the clarifying shampoo, which it is a little drying, so you don't want to use it every time you wash your hair, but that will take off a lot of buildup that you have. So you can use it maybe every other week.
Oh, so then it's not.
And you just clarify your hair that week, and then you continue using
that.
the keratin. Yeah.
When you say remember you said to use the shampoo, you said to wash before this, that first wash. What would you wash with that twice? Shampoo wise. Remember, didn't you is that what you said?
Yeah. Well, I rinsing your hair. I usually rinse.
Is this what? Oh, you're saying
yes,
rinse.
Rinse
okay,
it
that's
really
why
well.
I was like, wait, I want to make sure. So that's why I wanted to understand. Okay, so you're saying get your water, get your hair very wet before you just start like dunking and diving in.
Because most of the time, I mean, nobody tells you, you go in, you wet it a little bit, and then you put your first shampoo in. And you're like, oh my God, it's so dirty. So I've learned from myself, because I feel like I have greasy hair all the time. I go in and like really clean it, like you said, clean like a canvas, clean it, and then go in with the shampoo. And then you'll
like
get that
water.
lather, yes.
So and especially with those of us that have like long hair, and something that Dilma just taught me, because I was talking about this, is like how much when you're washing your own hair at home, we skip like this whole back section, like the crown down, like all that by the occipital bone, like so now I've been like scrubbing in there. I'm like, if that's what I need to do to get it clean, I'm gonna like you guys, because it is true, when you guys are doing it, you can really focus on that spot,
the whole
like on the right spots. When you're doing it yourself, you're kind of just like like herbal essence, in the shower. So,
and that's why I said, I'm like, even if every other week or once a month you use a clarifying shampoo, we don't all like, oh my goodness, sometimes we're rushing and we can't really get into that hair. The clarifying will clean all that,
get that layer of
yuckiness out.
Yes. It is so. It's funny because I think
we use so much product on our hair.
It's crazy that the last time that happened, whatever they did some deep scalp treatment, and then they put color on, and I was like, oh, it's kind of burning, because my scalp was so clean. It was so clean that I was like, oh, why is that? I'm feeling it.
I think it's tingling.
It's because it hasn't been so clean. It hasn't felt that in a long time. So have you used that brush with that scalp treatment thing here?
I have not. No, I've seen it, but I haven't used it.
Brenda was like, oh yes, you need to do it. I was like, okay. And I did it. And
you see, that's a good treatment. Like if you're coming out to the salon and getting it done.
And it's only like $10 or something. I think. But I will have to say, shout out to Brenda, because that worked very good. It worked. Yeah. You were right, Brenda. You were right. And then I just want like little details. I feel like in hair in general, in life in general, it is so important. The little details can make or break something. Like, you can do the same hair as somebody else, but it's the little details that are going to provide you with a different result.
Yes.
So that's why I'm very asking 25 questions. I just, I'm curious. Yeah. So, and conditioner wise, this is the same. You never want to put it on your scalp.
On your scalp, yes.
Just like, where would you say somebody like for what happens if you have like lightened hair up here? And can you put, like, sometimes I want to put it up here just to get the moisture.
Yes. I mean, you can, but just try not to be like, because I mean, I've done it before, and I would be conditioner, and all you do is bloop, and then put it down. I mean, work your way here, and then whatever left you have, just kind of go through your hair.
Touch it a little bit. And are you avid into thinking with the, like, cold water seals the cuticle, hot water? I mean, like, I've heard everybody has different opinion.
It is good for your hair to do it with cool water.
Rinse with cool? Mm-hmm. Like, you recommend that?
I do recommend it if you can take it. I personally, I've tried it. I'm like, it's too cold. I can't do it. But if you can do it, it's great. It'll make your hair, like, feel so much better.
Actually, that is true. It's funny because at the salon, we get some bomb massages on our heads, and everybody's like, "Would you like a cool rinse?" And for the longest time, I was like, "No." And now I've been doing it, and it actually is like exhilarating. It's quite interesting. Yes. It makes my body tingle. I couldn't do it at home though. Yeah. So, but if you can do it at home. I noticed a difference. Yeah, because
Maria does it. I'm like, even when I shampoo her out here, and it's like, she's like colder, and I'm like, this is as cold as it gets. I'm like, I can't go colder.
Yes. Maria is a special angel who has worked here for like 20-something years, and she touches you. I swear, she'll like touch my arm, and I feel love like running through her bones, and she's so special, and she does the most amazing scalp
Scalp
massage.
massages.
Or
and
neck
back
massage,
and
hand
head
massage.
massage. We can go on and on.
Anything, and she does it with love that you can actually like feel it. It really. So if you're ever in here, you gotta. I feel like everybody should have a Maria shampoo
Yes.
once, or
Or if you come in and like sometimes I come in, I'm like my head is hurting, and like she'll give me a
gets you.
head massage, and I'm like, I don't know, what to tell you.
And I have to say, China at the Village, that's still my sister. She's like a close second. I had like the worst migraine, and typically I just am not the kind of person that's like, yeah, I rub my head. I'm like, don't touch me.
Yes.
And I let her rub my head, and it is amazing what massage can do. Like,
Yes.
it felt, and afterwards I was like, thank you. You are close. You are close to Maria there. That
Yes.
was good. So, and so the last question about the keratin thing. Do you use that every single time you wash?
I would say like it's more of a reparative. So if you're looking into, you have blonde hair, like my client, has like black hair. She's been like box dyeing it. We're trying to go like to put in some highlights, and I told her to use it, like twice a week, a little bit more than usual, just because we want to repair her hair before we go in again.
So that's exactly. I was like, I wanted to make sure I understood. So you're prepping.
Yes.
Because no matter how many times anybody can tell you, oh, I lighten hair so wonderfully, no damage is going to happen. Like if you're using lightener, you can't. That's chemistry.
Yes.
There's going to be, you're roughing up the cuticle. Yes. I've never seen. Like, no, that's a lot. So if somebody's telling you there's not going to be, even if it's the minimal, you're still changing the structure of your hair. So it's going to be, you're changing it.
Yes.
You're going from one to the other. It's going to be different.
Yes.
So that is where, if you're using all three of those, you are prepping the hair to go through, or so that it
your next
doesn't
service
have to be so damaging. Like you're preparing your hair to be stronger so that it doesn't go like I'm trying to
so you don't go like the girls that are like, doesn't matter, chop off my hair, I just want to be blonde,
it's like Brad Mondo's videos.
Yes.
Where it's like I get anxiety because the girl's like another round, and they put the lightener on, and then she pulls it
out, you're like,
oh
yes.
the gummy hair, cringe. So well, anything else that I missed detail wise?
No. I think that's it on this little system here.
And we're still
this one I like, but I would say you can't use too much of it because it is very heavy. I would say if somebody would, it's like a smoothening.
It's called Straight Smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's like an anti-frizz.
Oh, got it. Is it like a Kera Smooth type thing?
It is like a Kera Smooth, yeah. But this one I feel like it's a little bit thicker. I feel like it's a little bit thicker, but it's not as oily.
Oh, got it. And I remember she was saying that they all have, if I could remember.
Like I would say I've had like the princess's mom. Sometimes they have like curly hair. And I advise them to get that. That smells so good. It's like a citrusy smell to it too.
Oh, it does smell. It's very fresh. Mm-hmm. I like fresh scents. I don't like.
So that one I would just say like curly hair. That way curly hair tends to be dry. No. This will give it a little more shine and take away the frizz.
I want to smell it.
This one smells.
I feel like the scent of this product is so. Oh, it's very fresh. Like it smells clean. I love. There's nothing like my favorite is like.
My goodness!
When
this one smells so
when
good.
you do your hair and the next day you smell it in your hair like that, you're like, ooh, what is that? And it's you. It's your hair. Like, that's my hair. It smells good. It does smell that. What does it? Do they all smell the same?
I know. I think this one has more of a fruity smell to it, which I love.
Ooh.
I mean, that I would even just use it for the smell.
She's
It
like
smells
rubbing
so
it in lotion.
And
Awesome. And then I think that'd be, I don't know. We'll do this one.
oh yeah, the volumizing one.
Volume
We used to
infusion.
have the surf spray, which I
We're
like the
still looking-
volume
She said she's still looking for a replacement. So I don't think that one is for surf
for
spray.
that. Okay.
That's what Brenda said. Brenda is like the one that's helping facilitate all this. I just heard her say that like 30 seconds ago. That's
yeah.
how.
Well, she was telling me about that volumizing earlier too, because I asked her. I'm like, I haven't had enough time to try this volumizing one, so I'm like, what is the difference? Because I like the surf spray. I feel like it works really good. And she's like, this one is not. It doesn't give as much
That was
volume.
like had a lot of grit to it.
Yes, this one doesn't. And she said you can spray it like.
It was probably lighter.
It's not kind of like overspraying.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's because sometimes I feel like you could, if the wrong person had surf spray, you could kind of like go bad route. Like I
yes.
tried to use surf spray. Like I
If you don't use it the right
surf
way.
spray is good as a stylist, as a guest. Like you could just go wrong real fast, and I've been
Yes.
there, and that's why I know. Because I'm like, oh, she said just a little bit on my root, and I'm like, and then it's like gummy, like sticky tacky.
Because your little bit is a different little bit of the client.
And
yeah.
you guys know exactly. You guys know. So I mean that's. I mean I'm interested. I have not tried it yet either. So it'll be fun. It's fun to play. So what happened? Just so, because as we're talking about like the older products, so we've used several different companies that we've manufactured our products at over the last 25, 30 years, whatever. And during COVID, a bunch of between shipping issues and then different laws changed with like sprays. The companies took huge hits in California, and literally one it was kind of funny, the one that this happened to us like 2 years ago. We sent out for an order and they literally said sorry, we closed.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and we've been using them for like years. So
Yes.
that was crazy. So then we started researching into new products. We found these new products, and then we still had it. We had used two companies. But we still had the other one. We were like, all right, at least we have this one. Like, this one's holding strong. Like, we're good. And then he sent an order, and the guy said, there's some of these I can send you, and some of them I can't, because this is going to be the last order. So it happened again. And they're both in
Yes.
California. And that happened with literally in 2 years. So now we just found this small business. Where did she say they're from? I forgot. It's some state like Indiana or something like that.
Something like that.
Do you remember, Zach? I don't
Was
remember.
it? Or
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can't. It'll come to me.
It's like Minnesota.
It is right.
It was some like North state.
It was some random. And she
Yes,
flew.
very random.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
she owns the company.
And that's what was cool about it, because we've never, I mean, I've been with you guys for, years, and we've never had like the chemist actually come out and be like, all right, this is our product.
she's
This is
the
what it
actual-
does.
yes.
This is the
They
way
can
we
talk to
made
it,
it
yes.
and what's in it and everything. So it was pretty cool.
We can talk. She literally gave us her number to communicate with her for feedback. Like, it's just nice to be able to work directly with somebody. Like, we're working on new stuff. Like, it's so I guess everything happens for a reason. And so stay tuned, because there will be other new ones. We're going through like trial phases right now, and it's so funny because like Dilma at our Venetian Village location, she's like, Lexi, and she keeps texting me every day, I love this shampoo, this other one that she really wants us to get. And she's like, what if I have everybody pre-order it? Can I just have people pre-order it, please? I'm like, well, you don't tell me. You got to tell my dad and Brenda, because I can't.
Is it an old one? Or
No, it's a new one.
It's a
The old ones are just gonna be like, there's no
no way to
It's like
order it.
gone.
Yes.
Like they gone. Bye bye. Literally not fun. Like we finally had like stability. It's not fun.
Yeah, like the
to
Cara
have to-
Smooth was a really.
I mean, and there's a lot. Our most selling product that we had right now is volumizing shampoo. So it sucks. Like, we don't want to, it's painful, but that's a part of owning a business is you have to, like, shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
But good thing we have backup.
and that's what we had to do. Like, this has been going on for a couple, well, probably he's known probably like 8 months since that last company did it. So, but at least there's more stability here. It's a stable, like, we know who owns it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing
I remember
happening.
your dad, I was in Tennessee and I was talking to him about coming back and he was like, yeah, I'm so excited. We're going to meet with the chemist. We got this going on. And like, he was just like, giving me the feedback, but you can see it in like his voice, like his excitement of all these new things are coming. And
Well, and it is so exciting because, it's like in life in general, you're constantly evolving, trying to make things better. And we go through different phases in life. That's what I'm realizing. Like, I mean, you've seen me here and there. You've seen me in some of my lower spaces, and not that I was doing bad, but I don't think I was like, yay. I know maybe I was probably saying yay, but I probably wasn't internally saying yeah. So yay. So we go through ups and downs, and it's just very exciting once you start to have those good hits, and then everything you talk about, you're creating it. Finally, you're like, it's
here.
We're doing it. Like you probably feel as a stylist when you work towards wanting to do something, and then you do it, and you're like,
yeah. And that's what I tell the girls too. Like Evelyn, I had a talk with her, and she was just like, she was just like asking me what the experience was.
She's new, and how long has she been here? Like a month or two.
Maybe, yeah.
Very new. Just graduated from school. She's we have an associate program. Mm-hmm. And what did she say?
No, she was just asking me how it was here and everything. I'm like, just don't give up, Sometimes, I was at that point too. When I got out of school, I'm like, when am I going to get out of assisting? Like, not that I didn't, enjoy it, but at the same time, I was here to do hair. Like, it's what I wanted to do.
Well, and
but
100%.
You have to.
You 100 and I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying.
No, and I was just like, you'll get to that point, and like now I'm like, it took me like 1.5 years, almost 2 years of assisting, but it taught me so much from like everyone. You just have to hold on tight and like get through it all, and then once you get there, it's like, I'm glad I did it.
Well, and what and you were at a time when there really wasn't like cut and dry, like, and that's what when between him and I, probably what he was sharing his excitement with you is we would continue to try to make systems and structures, and we had allowed people or opinions matter to us trying to run the business, and we're like, oh well, she doesn't like it, so we can't do it. And that was the wrong opinion. Like, no, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. This is what we're investing our money in. Why are we? Of course, that was just the wrong opinion that we were listening to.
Yeah.
So we are now like following through with all the things we've always wanted to do, like creating a structure for them, so that the next group of people comes in, and then they know. When are you going to get on the floor? Okay, I need to do this. I need to do X, Y, Z, and following through with it, not just saying it and having it. Like, they have class every Monday now. Like, it's a commitment, and the market's shifting. So remember, we went through COVID when we couldn't find. It was just a different market. Nobody was coming to work. Remember that?
Yes.
So now it's different. People want to be a part of something, and have those structure. Like, I feel like it just makes it so much better for me, for him, because nobody's sitting there like, when is this gonna happen? When is that gonna happen? It's like, just cut, and here you go. This is what you need to do. Okay, what did you do? Like Sam at the Village. I was like, oh, when are you gonna be on? I'm ready. Like, I like to push people. I'm like, let's go, baby. You ready, girl? Let's go. I've seen you. Don't tell me you can't do it, because you're so good. And I get so hype. I'm like, wow, I never knew you could do that. And I'm like, okay, well, when is it happening? And she's like, well, she has to get certified in short hair, and so like she knows what she has to do, and that just makes that makes us as a team, a company,
and
better.
I mean, it is good because, like I said, like not everywhere provides all these classes and all these yes, at the beginning you're like, oh my goodness, like I have to go through all this, but it's worth it once you.
And hopefully, and that's where like feedback is so crucial and important. Like we're trying to create it so that like, yes, it's a lot, whatever. And it's only like a couple hours on like a month. It's not like before where you didn't even know what you were going to be doing. Is it 4 hours haircutting class? It's like it's an investment, but you're going in and hopefully I want it to be stuff that you're like learning from immediately, and so now it's almost like I'm trying to think of the word, like a curriculum, like, so here, this is what you're learning for. So then you have that, okay, on to the next,
So you know what you're expecting.
Yes. And then creating it so it's in like Sarah from the village, Sarah.
Yes.
You knew Sarah.
Yes.
I forgot she worked at
She worked here for a while.
That's my girl. She is a part of the program now too. Like, and she's just all this. I will never forget. Sarah is a stylist. She lives in LaBelle. She drives an hour and a half every day, and she has worked for everything she's had here. And if you ever see her, she kind of has like resting bitch face, but she's not.
No, she's not.
She's really like a big
so
teddy
sweet,
bear.
yes.
And so she literally told me one day, she was like, I want to be involved in the classes. And I was like, oh, okay, go for it. Like, what do you want to do? And she has worked her way, like, she's a part of it and wants to make it better. Like, and it just makes it more exciting to see it happening. And Jen, remember, Jen was probably, for starting, Jen is the main person, our main teacher, who came from Paul Mitchell, who was a teacher, learning leader there, then came here. And she went through a lot of adversity because that was that adversity. I'm saying, because nobody would let her do her, like, she's just trying to teach a basic haircut, and everybody's like, no, you didn't do that right. It's like, it's a one-length haircut. Let her calm down, the poor girl.
And that it was confusing because it would be like, okay, so who do we listen to?
This person told you to do this. This person told you to do that. Oh, goodness gracious. I was getting nervous. So, and Jen has made it through all of that. And that's what I'm saying. It's just such a better, like, that energy is gone. Like, now Jen has, like, she has always had the best intention. And of course, she's going to listen to feedback, but we have to have a fluid company that's all working together, so.
Yeah, we're all a family and all.
And trust, honor,
together.
respect each other, like feedback, whatever. So I just proud of them. They're doing so good. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited Hannah's back. I'm proud to see how much you've grown. You're like,
yes.
I can't wait for the season.
Yes,
I'm gonna book you.
I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like,
no,
this
girl.
summer has been.
You're like, you're in your era. She's in her era. You have like a smile, like you just look happy.
I am. I mean, I've always known this is what I want to do, and I know coming back, like right now, it's slow and it's been a little harder for me to be like.
September's the worst month of the year.
But I'm just like excited for season to be here. I mean, I love doing hair. That's what here for, and to make clients feel and look good, and I can sleep at night. Yes. I'm that person that something goes wrong or something. I'm like, oh my God, is she happy? Is she, like,
oh my gosh, that's like Mackenzie. So bad. She'll be like 2 days later. Do you know if so-and-so
did they call?
Did I cut it? Did I cut it a quarter of an inch too short? I'm like, dude, no, they loved it. Did you not see their smile on their face when they told you they loved it 5 times? And she, you just constantly, or you'll go home and maybe I should have used this, whatever.
Yes.
And I'm like, how do you gotta let it go. You did your thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully what we were talking about earlier is that hopefully we create a well enough relationship with the guests so that they feel comfortable to tell us if there is something. And then you don't have to worry about that later because you're creating that door where they're like,
they feel comfortable to be like, you know what, like,
can we fix
let's
this?
change this.
Yes.
Let's do, yes.
So that's, and then you don't have to stress about that because you're like, they'll tell me, They'll tell me.
But
they'll tell me.
I mean, regardless, you're a hairstylist. You're still like, oh my god,
Still. No, I know.
Was it blonde enough? Yeah.
Oh, that's just your
Yes.
brain, how it's gonna be.
Yes.
So that's all the above. But
Yeah, but
well,
thank you so much.
thank you for.
and-
We got her to talk. Everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have never
You're
done
actually
this.
pretty good at it. Good job.
I would have never done this 2 years ago. Just saying, I
know.
would have been like a nervous wreck.
So proud.
But thank you.
Well, thank you. You did great.
Yay.
Like I started to become very cynical as well about certain products because I started to think, because I did experience where I bought a couple things, and I was like, man, everybody's just selling crap now, like, and it's crap. But I realized that not everything is, like, some things we just don't come up on Amazon, or they don't come up when we search for it. So they're helping us solve problems that we didn't even know could be solved. Like it's.
Well, those are the ones you believe. Those are the ones you follow. Those are the ones you stay with. The ones that don't sell out to something else, to just for the buck.
And
And some of them, if they sell out for the buck, they sell out for the buck. I still like your
that's
content
just a part
anyway.
of the world. That's the world we live in. That's human nature.
They got to make money somehow. People complain about free content on YouTube. Or an ad on free content. It's free anyway, so don't watch it if you don't want to watch the ad.
Well, this is probably jumping forward. However, it's just very quick based off what you're saying. There's this whole. It's been going on for a couple of weeks. So, the girl that started it is a phenomenal marketer. There's a New York influencer, Hallie Kate. She's like a fashion girly, and she had this boyfriend. They broke up. She was at this influencer event. This girl was like, oh, she found the ex-boyfriend in the girl's phone. She messaged the guy. They went on a date. The other influencer of the fashion girly or whatever, they got caught by followers. The followers brought it online. Then the Hallie Kate girl made a video saying, my friend who I was just with yesterday went on a date tonight with my ex-boyfriend, so it turned into this whole drama. And
Got them all a lot more followers too, right?
well, right. But this happened a year ago. This is what's amazing. That happened a year ago. I couldn't figure out. I'm like, why are we talking about it again? Well, because the girl the girl and the guy got back together, and he was on her podcast, and all of a sudden people start bringing it back up. Well, the red-haired girl, that's the girl that went on the date with the guy. When he went on the podcast, she decided to do a bunch of TikToks saying what their date was like. And she is like the ultimate. She's like, well, he was so sweet, and and
Are they still friends?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. Now they're doing their whole feud online,
Oh, good.
and the girl is freaking, the red-haired girl, the villain, is like blowing up, and it's actually it's kind of
Drama.
brilliant. She's turning but she's making followers. She's not doing.
Yeah, because it's drama.
Look, watch me blow dry my hair. And she is reality
from there.
TV. It is reality TV. And actually, Bethany Frankel had probably like such an interesting take. She was saying how once you put something on the internet, you don't know how anybody's going to react. We could be sitting here talking about something that we think we know how it's going to be taken. Once it goes on the internet's a different world. Like, you have so many different minds. So Hallie Kate posted that video calling that girl out. Well, once she put it out there, it's there for the internet to take. Like, you let that out there. Now this is what it's turned into. So even if you didn't want it to be, now she's gaining, the other girl's gaining from it. That's what happens when you put it out there. Like, you don't control it. And that's a part of the game. That's the game. It's reality television in TikTok.
So that could be the millennial Gen Z update. So if you want to follow
That's
some
what I
drama,
did. Yes.
if you want to follow some drama, there's
But it's
the people to follow.
it's super interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, that's for.
No, don't be sorry. That's a segment, right? That's millennials are, hey, you're looking to follow some tea. There's some tea. Get
That's some tea. Oh my gosh. And you have to go and look at this girl. You have to look at her. Because it's
Zach will put it up on here.
fascinating.
Okay.
I don't even. She's like, you gotta just watch her talk. She's like a villain,
There you have it.
and she's profiting off of it. She did. Wow.
All right, so this is an episode that is one of many. We got more to come that are going to feature spotlights on great people and people you're going to enjoy hearing from. So if there's anybody out there that you'd like to nominate to have us have a conversation with, or you'd like to know more about, who's a special person who makes your life better or makes the lives of people around them better, let us know. You can put something down in the comments and tell us about it so we can add them to it.
That somebody that you know in life. I think that we should do that too. This to spotlight good people. That is a good person that maybe needs to be loved. That wants to come be pampered. You could also put that down. That deserves it. That probably is a giver.
Yeah, so we'll bless them with some love internally and externally. We'll give them a makeover. So anybody who needs that in the world, let us know about that. Or if there's somebody who you'd like us to have a chat with on here that deserves the spotlight, maybe they're too humble to even talk about it, but if you nominate them, we'll get them on here and have them shine like they should.
And over the summer is when I feel like we always get the opportunity to, because we have the time to, and we encourage our team to.
September, slowest month of the year, hurricane month. Most people leave. It's the slowest day of the year right now. If you walk outside in the salon right now, it's like it looks like a Sunday.
Yeah, no,
so
it's hangout time. So
we have opportunities to bless people right now,
and then it creates good energy when we're doing good. And so that's when we did 900 princesses, I believe.
1,100 now.
1,100 princesses. Wow. And quick story on the princess thing, very quickly. I have to say, so we had been discussing what are we going to come up with. We got to have something for this time, so that keeping the stylist's mind about doing hair instead of the tea, like keeping them moving, excited about hair. And he was at I think Buff City Soap or something with his wife. Shout out to my stepmom. And he was like, "Oh, there's so many kids here. There's so many kids here." He's like, we got to do this. We got to do this. And then I was just so shocked how sometimes we'll have ideas, but we don't create it into fruitful labor, and within that week he made up this little thing, and we barely sent it out to everybody. Like nobody really knew what was going on. We were just kind of testing the waters. Sometimes we'll test the waters and post things and see who sees it. And overnight it started getting booked online, and we obviously we then created the Princess Days, and we did 1,100 little girls got to come in and be pampered and get tinsel blow dry style haircut, and being a part of that, it really was awesome. Because how can you have a bad day when there's a little girl?
Well, these little princesses, I think the biggest thing out of it more than anything was the fact that every woman should be treated like a princess. And to have these little angels, 1,100 of them over the course of 2 months, be in our home, getting pampered and loved and treated like a queen or a princess, for their own self-esteem. If it impacts just one person in a way that they feel good about themselves, that their own self-esteem is impacted, so that they realize that they don't always, with social media now, I can't imagine what it's like for these young girls to have to always be comparing themselves away, because social media is everywhere and it's a part of their lives that they're always looking at what someone else who's being admired looks like and thinking they should look like that, and the impact that has on them. And if we have this chance to impact their life in whatever way possible so that they feel pretty and feel good about themselves, and that was the greatest in a selfish thing that I got from it, is I hope we're making a difference in their life to have them feel loved, appreciated, and that they're just perfect just the way they are, and bring out that inner beauty in them. So that was a cool thing that we get to do, and we're going to continue doing it. We'll do it every summer anyway, but we offer that package now anyway. We just did that for free this summer over the last 2 months.
That's what
just the end of it.
People are like, Okay, well, why? Like, what? Why is it free? I mean, I can't tell you the amount. I was on the phone. I've had this phone call repeatedly over and over because people would call. Why? Like, what's the again? What's the catch? What do you guys want? Do I need to sit through a promotional? Is this timeshare?
Yeah, it wasn't a timeshare. It was just literally we've got time to do this, and we want to be able to give to you, and especially moms out there who were unsure of what to do with their kids over the summer, because sometimes you run out of things to do, or the camp runs out.
Well,
And now what do I do?
I-
And you need some time. They were making soap at the soap place. That's what I saw. They were paying to make soap together, and they're having a good time at it. So, what could we do? And we'll talk more about what we're going to do with the birthday parties, the princess parties that we'll do on the next episode.
I think there's such a need in this. I grew up here, and yes, there is more stuff to do now, but everything costs money nowadays. Like, I'm thinking about me and my kids over the summer. You can't go out of the house without spending $100, $50 if you're going to do something. Like, you have to. And so it was nice to be able to do, and it created such an experience. I had fun with every little girl that came in here. They're so freaking cute. They would come in their little princess dresses, some of them, and
princess slippers.
Oh, you could physically
sparkling
see
shoes.
that child's like eyes just like shine. It was the cutest. It was so amazing, and it's such a intro. I have to say one more thing. I'm sorry, but it's super interesting. So when we first put this out, he put it out online just to see, and he's texting me, and he's like, "Oh, SHIT, it's being booked," and I'm like, "Okay, well, cool. Like, have it be booked." Well, the problem is that there's 55 employees who don't really know what we're doing. They knew about it, but they didn't know. We hadn't set like parameters of what needs to be done because we weren't really sure who was going to book it, and so a mom, and shout out to Naples Moms 2.0, I believe, posted in there thanking us.
Facebook, a group.
Facebook, yes. They have like a lot of members in there. A mom posted thanking us, and another mom said, "Oh, it wasn't really all that great." And we take, as a company, especially online, we take feedback very, very, very seriously.
Well, online or anywhere, just online, we happen to know about it, so that's why
we
tell
were
us
able
about
to
it.
see it, but of course, anywhere, yes. But then it was like right in front of our face, because I'm sure that's when people are allowing you to see it. Because I'm sure people give feedback behind and don't say it to you. We'd much prefer you say it to us, by the way. But so then I will never. That morning, it was like somebody sent it to my dad, and then you can always tell like his little neck will get red on the back, and then he gets all, we gotta fix this, and so we quickly put.
We screwed up. I mean, we screwed up. We didn't do what we promised. We failed in the first couple of days. We didn't have it set up correctly.
It wasn't even a failure. It was just that we hadn't
We
communicated.
just didn't do what we said, and that's all.
We didn't set structure up, is what would happen.
My fault completely, because we didn't roll it out properly. But we, in the first couple of days,
But-
and the person didn't get what they
Yeah.
were promised, and so they communicated about that and gave us a chance to fix it.
It
So that was
helped,
great.
but it helped us because then it created. I feel like it made us better at it. So then we were able to do more because it created that whole. Then we made a structure for it. Then everybody knew what to do, and it just went off. Like, it went awesome. So it was good. That's why feedback is so important, because we then were able to learn what we failed on.
Yeah, we're not perfect, and we know that. And there are times, we're 110% and all the way on, and then there are things that don't always go perfectly. So the only way we can get better is by getting that feedback and letting us know. I mean, I think that's one of the things I really, really value, and I think is so important, is that you love your experience with us and you love your experience about us. So if you don't have that experience, we want to know about it so we can do something about it. It's not just going to go in a suggestion box or, yeah, thanks for sharing. I don't complain at restaurants when I don't love my meal, where maybe I should, but I just have this feeling like I don't want to be that person. I'll just not come back. I don't want to say something. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. It's weird. And what are they going to do anyway? So I don't. So
Are you going to be a
encourage
Karen?
that.
Am I being rude? What if they're having a bad? I can't say anything nowadays. I mean, it's horrible. I'm too scared to. Like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt their feelings. So if somebody's building up enough courage to say something, but if you're not, please do say something. And I even give you my number. You can text me, anything. I deeply care about our business so much and I put so much love. Every single person here, they're here, that work here for a reason. Because they want you to love your experience too. So and sometimes we do have failures, so we want to fix it though.
And this wasn't planned, but since this is a segment now, it sounds like the thing to say. Oh yeah, we guarantee and we promise and you're going to get the best. And if you don't, and when you don't, we mean it. When that feedback really meant letting us know that you didn't love it, or you want a few more highlights, or your experience didn't go the way you wanted it to. Really, we appreciate when you let us know. We love that kind of feedback. It's okay to let us know, because in most cases, most people go away and it's really uncomfortable to share what you didn't like or what you don't like for many people. So we mean it. It matters to us. Retaining you as a guest for life, like having you be a part of our family for life, is what's most important to us. So that was a little unplanned segment, but that it came up. I wanted to make sure that people know about it with us.
And Ashton, I was like, I'm just so serious and passionate about this as well, because I always tell people, like, everything we do here is 100% guaranteed. People are like, oh my God, how can you do that? You can't do that. I'm sure you have so many people. And that's what you would think, that there is so many people complaining all the time. We're giving out free stuff. And the average human is a good person that is not going to do that. So that's not true at all. I want more people to tell me when they don't like it. Like Ashton Earl, Alex Earl's sister, she just posted.
Didn't know she had a sister.
Oh, well.
See, I've been following her. Okay.
Her sister just posted her nails, and she was like, does this ever happen to you? So I went and got my nails done this morning. I hated them. So I went to another place and paid to have, in the same day, taken off and redone. Like, I don't ever want that to be somebody's experience with us. If you did not have an amazing experience, if this was not your freaking Disney World, I that's like my specialty. I love making things special for people. Please always tell us so we can make you feel what you deserve, because it's the best feeling.
And you can talk to anybody about that. So it's not like you have to reach one department or reach the manager or call the customer service division, customer no service division in a lot of companies. Anybody can help you. And anybody you speak to is 100% empowered to make your experience great. So it's okay. So thanks.
Thank you for letting me go on my tangent.
Thanks for tuning in. We will see you on the next one. And give us some feedback on this too. Thanks for being a part of it. Have an amazing day. Love you. Bye.